Hi, I'm Ashley.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Sara. And we are Unabridged, the podcast where teachers take on books.
Join us each week for bookish episodes and check out our website, unabridgedpod.com, where you can find lots of new bookish content every week.
Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at unabridgedpod and message us there or see our website to get plugged into the Unabridged community. You want opinions about books? We've got them.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 208. This is Sara, and I'm so thrilled to talk to you today and tell you that we are sharing one of our throwback episodes wherein we discuss what makes a holiday movie with a particular emphasis on Love Actually. If you listen to the podcast, you know that a lot of times we agree with each other, but we had a healthy disagreement during this episode, and I think you are really going to enjoy this. So we hope you enjoy episode 208. This throwback repeat episode of our holiday movie with an emphasis on Love Actually. Let us know what you think.
Hey, and welcome to Unabridged. We are excited to talk with you all today. We discovered somewhat inadvertently that we have varying opinions about this particular topic, so we're going to have a quick debate on it today. But before we get started, I just wanted to ask you to please subscribe on iTunes to our account, and we are really appreciative of everyone who participated in our 10 days of giveaways. Be sure to join us this month for Last Christmas in Paris, the discussions that we're having on Instagram about that. Okay, so without further ado, our debate topic for today is what makes a holiday movie? And we have some opinions about this, and some stronger than others. And we also want to hear what you all think about this. And so, yeah, we're going to get started. Sara, why don't you state your side of what makes a holiday movie?
These episodes also give me trepidation because I'm very non-confrontational, but I do have opinions about this.
Opinions are good.
I feel like I am the most confrontational of the three of us, and it seems like each time we have the debate ones, I have no opinion. I don't have a strong opinion about it. Apparently, I get mine out other ways. I don't know. Anyway, maybe we just haven't hit my topics yet. But Sara does have a strong opinion, so does Jen. So we're going to talk about it.
So I would like to begin by speaking about Love Actually. So I think that with a Christmas movie, that Christmas has to be the driving thing that is occurring in the movie. That is like at the kind of the central plot point that amongst where the other characters are creating whatever shenanigans they're creating. And like, for example, with Love Actually, so I had never watched Love Actually, and my sister, she loves this movie. And so I was getting ready to wrap Christmas presents. I'm like, oh, look, it's on Netflix. I'm going to watch Love Actually and wrap my Christmas presents. So I'm like mid-wrap, and we're in the middle of a funeral on the TV, and then it just gets progressively sadder. And then I was like, I'm not watching this while I'm wrapping Christmas presents. And I turned on a real Christmas movie like Elf, and
that was very passive aggressive to quote the podcast.
That was intentional shade. Just kidding.
Maybe it was just aggressive.
I know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure there's anything passive about it.
I'm just kidding, sort of. But I did think, like, and then I finally did watch the whole movie, not while wrapping Christmas presents or baking cookies or any other holiday activity. I did watch it, and I mean, I liked the movie, but I thought it was not particularly holiday. I think that there were scenes that were operating during Christmas, but to me, the movie was not a holiday movie.
So this is Jen.
Ashley will be referee today.
I know. I feel like Ashley's going to be our mediator here. I think that if it takes place during the holidays, it's a holiday movie. And so while I love Elf, and I agree that that is a real holiday or real Christmas movie, I also think Love Actually is. That is actually one of my traditions with Kirk, with my husband, is to watch Love Actually every year around the holidays because we love it. And it takes place during Christmas. and therefore it is a holiday movie. And I think it's beautiful and sad in that way that makes me
just
ache.
like everybody wants the holidays to be.
I mean, okay, wow.
It's very emotional, and I think Emma Thompson, whose heart is broken, is beautiful, and I just think, oh my gosh, I just love it so much. Like, I can't even articulate it because I'm getting all swept up in it. I just love it, and I think if it takes place in the holidays, it makes me think about the holidays, the good and the bad of it, then it is a holiday. And there's some really sweet moments. And so there are places where people's hearts are broken, but then you see them finding love in other places and appreciating love from different angles. And I think that is what the holidays are all about.
But it is a romance. I agree that it's it's a beautiful movie. It is great. But so is Schindler's List is a great movie, but it's not a holiday movie.
I agree that is not a holiday movie.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I think it's a great movie. It just...
You brought Schindler's List.
I know. I was like, how many steps to Hitler? Because I am really surprised that we went there, but we did.
I couldn't think of a sad movie.
That's a sad one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get us back on the rails here. So I think that one thing that is surprising to me from the outside perspective here is that outside of this, Sarah, I feel like both of you are far more down for things that cause emotions other than happiness than I ever would be. So when you say that about the holiday movies, Sarah, and you're like, I don't want to feel any sadness, I'm like, yes. Or any other time. So I totally relate to that feeling. But I do think Love Actually is one that is common. I mean, it comes up all the time. It's definitely portrayed as a holiday movie. I did watch it once. I do not remember a whole lot about it. All I remember really is the song that is in it. That part is relatively vivid in my mind, and maybe not in a great way, but that stays with me. Otherwise, I thought it was okay, but I do remember. I mean, and maybe I loved it. I don't know. I think
I loved it.
I was
going to
say I probably was sad, and I don't want to be sad. So.
And there are parts that are happy. That's the nice thing, because it's this hodgepodge of a lot of different storylines that are linked. You don't find out till the end how they're all linked. Are they all linked? Most of them are linked. But some of them are happy, and some of them are sad, and some of them are happy in a way that you didn't expect. So, like, I don't want to give it away for anyone who hasn't seen it. Go get it. But I think there's one
in March
that you think is because we should all watch movies about Christmas in March. Anyway, so there's one storyline that you think is supposed to be a romance, and it ends up being about, I'll just say, the love between a brother and a sister. And so I think, it just, again, I think it defies expectations in ways that make you think about what love really is and how I love a romance, a straightforward romance. And I do think those should have happily ever after endings to qualify as a romance. I think Love Actually tricks you into thinking it's a romance, and it's not really. It's really about all these different types of love and how the holidays can bring out the best and the worst in people, but that there's usually some sort of love to find. Anyway, but in general, I think, so it's not just about Love Actually. I will say The Atlantic has a great pair of articles, one that hates Love Actually and one that loves Love Actually, that we can link in the show notes, because it's a great debate that was in The Atlantic. But yeah, I mean, I think the larger question is, right, does it have to be about Christmas in the holidays, or can it just take place during that time period?
Right. And that's what I think is not a holiday movie. If it just takes place during it, like Christmas is just the setting, or the holidays are just the setting of the movie, then I don't think that it's necessarily a holiday or Christmas movie. You could watch it in March or whatever. You know, that to me, that would be my definition.
So what about It's a Wonderful Life? That takes place during.
Have you seen that?
No.
Oh,
I don't.
That's a good one.
I'm not a huge old movie fan.
So, back to our central question. I'm going to moderate here. Central question is the setting sufficient to make it a holiday movie? And Sarah says no.
I say no.
And Jen says yes.
And Jen said yes. And
so now, Ashley, you have to vote and break the tie. Just kidding. You really don't.
I just don't have enough to go off of to be able to say, because I've watched them so rarely. I mean, it's just like when we started and y'all were talking, I thought, oh, I should have watched Love Actually. And I thought, once again, I need to Google to figure out how to participate in the pop culture conversation that is happening. Surprise, surprise. I did not do it, listeners, because I didn't want you
really
hearing
funny.
me clicking on my keys. But let me tell you, at work, I do that routinely when conversations come up because I do not know the reference and cannot comment or anything else because I can't think of the reference. And again, I have at least seen that one, which is better than I am often when I have no idea what the thing is. So that's a step.
And I think
but
that
it's too far removed. I was thinking about, is Notting Hill a Christmas movie?
I don't think so.
I don't think it even...
It must just have snow or
It has a
something.
lot of seasons. It goes through all the seasons. Like, that's how they do the transitions. I will say the reason I keep thinking of that one is because the movies we watch every year are Love Actually, just me and Kirk, because it's not appropriate for the boys yet. The boys watch Elf. They watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. They, those, like, claymation movies, like we watch those every year. So most of the movies that we watch at Christmas are about Christmas, but Love Actually is the one that is not about Christmas, but it takes place during Christmas, and so I think it's a Christmas movie. And I think it's just because of that tradition.
What about for you, Sarah? What are the ones you watch?
I know what I was going to say. I don't think that a Christmas movie has to be happy. I mean, have you seen the Christmas shoes?
No,
but I can tell from the title I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, your face.
That is
Both.
definitely a Christmas movie. Definitely not. I mean, it's definitely gut-wrenching. So, I mean, I don't think it has to be happy, but in the Christmas shoes, Christmas is the defining thing that is occurring during the movie.
Gotcha.
Whereas with Love Actually, I feel like Christmas is like an afterthought. So I think like it's a movie that takes place during the holidays, but for me, it's not a Christmas movie. That's kind of my distinction.
But you probably also wouldn't wrap presents to
Christmas shoes.
Christmas shoes.
Right.
No. Sounds like.
No, I would not. but I already knew, like, I knew about Christmas shoes going in. Love Actually, everybody was like, it's such a Christmas. And my sister loves it. I mean, and I know it is definitely.
So it's like the tone.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's definitely marketed as a Christmas movie, but I still stand firm that it isn't. Who knew I was so opinionated, right? But the ones that we watch Elf. That's the classic. We watch Deck the Halls. We watch Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah.
Which, have your boys seen that?
No.
Oh, my gosh. It's it's perfect for for boys. Not little boys, but for boys. And girls. I love it. So we watch that, and we watch Christmas with the Cranks. Love that one.
I've seen that.
Yeah. So we watch. I mean, I have all of them. Not a Love Actually.
Don't worry, it's on every streaming service.
I know.
Possible.
I watch it streaming, but we watch all of those, and the Polar Express, and I don't know. We watch a lot of them. My kids know when Christmas comes, we're dragging out the Christmas movies.
Well, listeners,
I was just going to say another one that maybe listeners can weigh in on that I think that neither of you have seen it. And actually, this is another one. I went to the movies with my mom and my sister for an air quotes Christmas movie. And I know that one of my favorite podcast, the Popcast, they talk about it all the time, and it's both of their favorite air quote Christmas movies, and it's called The Family Stone. And if you have seen it, I saw it at the theater, but I never watched it again because it was very depressing, and for the holidays and for any time really. But I mean, anyway. That's beside the point. But I'm having a conversation in my head. But if you have watched that, I would love for you to weigh in on that too, because I might try to watch it again this year just to see what I think. But I remember my mom, my sister, and I were just like shell shocked at the end and kind of crying.
My sister saw it in the theater and warned me, and it happened, because of the things that happened, and it is a very sad time. Yeah. Yes. I have never watched it.
Yeah, I mean it's a little gut wrenching. So but it was like kind of billed when it came out as a Christmas movie. So I'd like to know if listeners have watched it and what they think, if they would consider it a Christmas movie.
Yeah, so we would love to hear from you all about this topic and what you think constitutes a holiday movie or a Christmas movie specifically. And we want to end today with Give Me One. I don't know what our topic is. I always do the audio, folks, so I feel like there is a document that I'm always supposed to be working from, but I'm never on it. So,
It's toy you loved when you were a kid.
Thank you. Yep. Okay, so let me know, ladies, what's a toy you loved when you were a kid?
So this is Jen, and I will just say I acknowledge now that there could be some problems with this, but when I was a kid, my sister and I played hours and hours and hours with our Barbies, and we had a Barbie house, and this will surprise no one, but one of my favorite things was to organize them and their clothes. And we had a lot of them, and I would go on our computer and I would type up all their names, organized by age, because of course we knew their ages. And yeah, so my favorite toy, Barbies.
And this will surprise no one. I also had Barbies, and they were all dumped in a big chest, and I had to dig through them and find their head, and they would switch heads, So, yeah. I did my sister and I both played with Barbies too. But probably one of my favorite toys growing up was my roller skates. Because I really started loving roller skating, and we would go to the roller rink and wear the brown skates with orange wheels that you have to rent. And then I got the white skates with the hot pink wheels.
I had those too. Oh my gosh. Yes.
And I loved them. And my sister and I also, my family was big into watching the Olympics together as a family. And we always watched the Winter Olympics with the ice skating. And, well, there was no ice skating rink around us. So my sister and I tried to perform stunts in our roller skates, which, roller skates are quite heavy. But we would try to do some of the stunts we saw with me holding my sister and all that. So it's just this time we would make up routines to songs and stuff. So it's just a really happy time. And I think my roller skates bring me the most joy thinking back on my childhood toys.
That's awesome. So I made it clear already that I didn't know this topic prior, and now I'm thinking, what is my favorite thing? So I'm just going to say, first of all, I did also have Barbies. We're all children of the same generation here. And I really enjoyed them. But as a mom of daughters, I am adamantly opposed to them having them. And I know I'm going to have to let go of this, but it is hard. Anyway, that's my confessional for you today. And I think that I am going to talk about one of my stuffed animals. I had a stuffed bear named Fuzzy, and I loved stuffed animals as a kid. I used them, to do all the imaginative play and all that kind of stuff. And so Fuzzy is still with us today with my girls, and I think that's a pretty special toy for me. So yeah, that brings us to a close for today. But we really do want to hear what you have to say about this hot topic we didn't know that we had related to holiday movies, what you'll be watching this season with your family, ones that you enjoy, and what you think about them as far as do they qualify to be a holiday movie. So thanks so much for joining us, and let us know what you think. Find us on Instagram at UnabridgedPod.
Do you have comments or opinions about what you heard today? We'd love to hear them.
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at UnabridgedPod, or on the web at unabridgedpod.com for a list of ways to support us.
We'd like to thank Jared Featherstone, who composed our theme music, Strings of Light, and Katie Amy of Amy Photography, our podcast photographer. Thanks for listening to Unabridged.